Hello, friends, and welcome to Not All the Things. I'm so glad to have you here tonight. I'm excited because I'm bringing a conversation to you that really was inspired by a mentor in my head. She doesn't know me, but I watch her channel. And today I was thinking about sharing with you all 5 things that I now know in my 50s. And so I was watching Stephanie Perry. She's one half of Exodus Summit with Rashida Dow. And if you have been in these YouTube streets doing any research around Black women living with ease or house sitting or moving abroad, then you would know Stephanie Perry. And so I was watching an episode that she talked about 5 things I need to learn in my 50s. And so as I was listening to her episode, I was thinking, well, damn, I know at least 5 things about myself now that I am in my 50s, even though there are many more things that I need to learn. So today, that is what our conversation will be. Let me at least introduce what my channel is about. So, I am Dr. Davia, and this is a channel for mature, success driven women of color who want to share tips and strategies around work life balance, wellness, and wine. That's my favorite. I have a little glass of wine with me. I'm having white today because it's that kind of a day. It's a light day. And this is an opportunity for us to be together, to connect and to support each other and to celebrate that, yes, we do work hard, but we need to make time to play even harder. So if this resonates with you in any way, join me on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Subscribe. Take the moment now to subscribe and also hit the like button as the content is growing. And share this with a sister, someone who you know rarely makes time for herself, rarely stops and pauses, and just take a moment to be in community with other sisters. So let's get started. I'm going to list the 5 out, and then we'll talk a little further about each of them. So number 1, first thing that I can honestly say I now know about myself in my 50s is that I know how to say no. And it is taking a long time to get here. But my number 1 is that I know how to say no. 2 is I do actually know a few things. I do have some wisdom that I can share. And so that is my number 2. Number 3 is movement matters to me. Movement is so important to me. And I guess I should say movement and music is so important to me. Number 4, I need sleep. Sleep helps to guide me and helps to give me that additional rest that my brain needs and that my body so desperately needs. And then 5, I am definitely led by faith and I am guided by faith. And there were times before that I might not have said that out loud, but that is my truth and I am sticking with it. So those are the 5 things that I want to talk a little bit further about today. And I'm glad that you're here with me. I also have a bonus that I know about myself, probably 2 bonuses to be quite honest. But I will share that at the end of the video. So please stay tuned and feel free to drop into the comments some of the things that you now know about yourself, depending on what age you are. Because I do, for me, think that it really is reflection that has gotten me to this point and age. Some of it is about experience, but a lot of it is about me being self-reflective and me now being 50 plus because I'm 55 and I'm good with that. So let's get started. 1, I know how to say no. There was a time, I would say in my 20s and probably mostly my 20s and 30s, that I struggled to say no. I would be getting tugged and pulled and asked to do lots of things. And I wanted to please people. I wanted to have the friendships. I wanted to show that I could be there for everyone. And so I would say yes to lots of things. And even though on the inside I might have been torn, I didn't always say no. And I didn't know how to say no. And I do think that you have to start to kind of hear your own voice and mature to be able to say, you know what, I'm not gonna say no. And the more you do that, the more it aligns to who you are and your own self values. But it's hard when you are trying to make a way, trying to have friends, trying to just figure out where you fit. You don't really want to say no. You have a hard time doing that. And so that is something that I would say happens over time. I think all of these that I now know happen because of either experiences that teach you to learn how to say something, say no, so or just be in yourself, or if not experiences, just time to reflect, time to say, let me look back and think about what happened when I didn't say no or when I should have said no and how I felt in that relationship, how I felt with those friends. And so being able to say no, I am so good with that right now. I'm like, nah, I'm not able to do that. And I'm good. And if you're upset about it or if you're mad about it, that's not a me thing. That's a you thing. So the one thing that I know in my 50s is how to say no and to be okay with it. Not to just say no and then be in unrest, but to say no and be like, I'm good. And you're going to be good if we're going to continue to have a friendship. So that is number one. Number two, a lot of times I never wanted to be the person who was the know it all. That is not who I am. I like to sit back. I like to observe. I know a lot of things. Um, that is who I am, especially in my profession as an educator. I do know a lot of things, but I try to never show up as an expert. That's not my spirit. That's not who I am. But I can honestly say that mother, as my husband would say, mother has lived. And I do know some things and I can share. And I do hope that people can hear me and understand that my sharing is based on my lived experiences and that my lived experiences help to formulate my understanding of things. And not that I am always right, but I do know some things and I'm hoping that I can share some things. And that is one of the reasons why, when I think about this idea of wellness and work life balance, that is all five of these really help to speak to that. Like I can honestly say that I know a few things and therefore I can come on here and share and hopefully be in communication with you all. So number two is that I do know a few things and I can share from my lived experience, from my knowledge base, from my life experiences, and I hope it can be received in that way, not as a know it all, but as someone who has knowledge who can share. Number three, movement and music is key for me. When I was younger, I was a dancer. I danced all through high school. And I find that for wellness, I need to move. I need to have my music going while I am washing dishes, while I am doing the laundry, although I don't do much laundry, a little bit of folding. I am listening to music. I am moving my body. I am just movement. And movement just makes me happy. If I can be dancing in the kitchen and I'll be listening to my two DJs. I have two amazing DJs that I follow. I'm going to shout them out. They're also in my head because they don't know me, but I feel like I know them. I've seen them both live. One is my young DJ Puffy. He is from Barbados. Such a good young DJ. And then my other DJ, who is a Canadian, his name is Scratch Bastard. And I watch both of them either on YouTube or on Twitch. or I've seen them both live, but they just bring joy. They bring joy. And also having my gospel music on in the morning, just all of it. I realized that for me to feel centered and to feel good, I need to have music and movement in my life. If I could roller skate more often, I would do that. I just love to move. And I think we need to find the things that we know that help to center us and make us feel good. That's number three. Number four. Number four is one that I am striving to. I know I need sleep and I know I need more sleep, but the older I get, I need to lay down. I need to take a nap. I need to rest. And so that is something that I would rarely do when I was younger. I would run and run and run until I just sat down and laid out. Now I gotta take a 15-minute nap, and I can take a good 15-minute power nap. I'm better at a 30-minute, but I could do a 15-minute power nap and be like, whew, refreshed. And so, again, for my wellness and well being, being able to take a power nap, being able to just rest, being able to slow down, that is an important thing. And that is something that I have learned. That is not something that I've had in my 20s, even though my daughter could sleep all day. That is not me. I need rest and I need sleep, but I've learned to get there. I was not able to let myself do that. And fifth, I am definitely faith-led and guided, and I'm going to continue to be a strengths-based positive person. A lot of times in the world, positivity is not what is seen, but I have to lead with joy first. I have to be positive first. I have to see the glass half full. And I know that that is from my faith, and that is what God wants me to be and how I show up. That is who I am. And I know that the world is not always pleasant, not always positive, especially for my people, but I don't know how to show up negative. That doesn't work for me. And I'm consistently saying, at least for my health and wellness, it's better to be nice than to be nasty. Yes, I will not let people walk over me, but I definitely get more out of situations and experiences when I show up with joy and when I show up positive and when I show up thinking about, what's the strength in this? What's going on here? Where can I find the light in this? And so that is something that is truly important to me, and something I know about myself. And this is one that I know about myself as a 20-year-old, as a 30-year-old, as a 40-year-old, and in my 50s. I am consistently a strengths-based positive person. And I do believe that that is tied into my faith, and it helps to ground me in a different way. So those are my five. My bonus, and it's not really, um, it's probably not new if you've seen any of the other videos that I've done. I enjoy being in community. I was raised as an only child. I was always with older people. I do have sisters, blood sisters, and I do have sorors, but I love being in community with my sisters. I love having friends over. I love socializing. I love going to friends and hanging out. I love being in community. I actually live with a loner. My husband does, he can take people or leave them, but me, I actually really love to be in community, and it makes me feel good. I do like to be by myself because I am a Scorpio at heart. I do have my moments, but I love being in community, and it helps me in my work life balance, and it helps me with my wellness journey. And so being able to be in community is my bonus. And I'm sure there are many other bonuses. And I would say for anyone who's watching, my call to action to you is to think about, what do you know now that you are the age that you are? What do you truly know? And if you're not sure, if you can't identify for yourself what that is, then I suggest you spend some time with yourself, do some reflection, and really think about, what is it that I value? What is it that I have learned through culture, through community, through conversation, through lived experiences? Make sense of that for yourself. If you are a younger person watching this and you're 20-ish, there are some things that you know, but who you are today is not who you are going to be tomorrow. It changes just like that. And who you are in your 30s will also change. And again in your 40s and in your 50s. I would say in your 40s, you're starting to know yourself. You are starting to make sense of it. And yes, there are things that will be constant. And then there are things that you'll be like, I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. But the goal is for you to be honest with yourself and to think about your own health and wellness and to think about what you value and to say, this jives with me. This feels like it sits with me. It aligns to my understanding and my being and myself. And therefore I know it. I know it to be true. And I know that for myself. So I just wanted to get on and have this quick conversation with you all. And again, to have you think about for yourself, what do you know now that you are the age that you are? How does what you know support your wellness, your full self, your whole self? And if you are not sure, how do you reach that? How do you begin to interrogate yourself and begin to journal or sit back and really feel in your gut, when something is aligned, it'll sit with you in a certain way. And when it doesn't feel right, you'll have stomach ache. You'll have a headache about it. You'll be ruminating on it. And it won't match. It won't connect to who you are, to your core. And so I thank you all for coming and listening to me just sharing the 5 things that I know. I know how to say what. I know how to say no. I do have some wisdom. I do have something to share. I need movement and music in my life. I need sleep, much more sleep, but I'll take a nap here and there. And then finally, I'm going to be strengths-based because I am led by my faith to do so. And my bonus is that I love to be in community. And so I hope that this message lands well. And I hope you can at least understand me a little bit better. And I hope that you spend some time getting to know you. Cheers. Till next week. And remember, not all the things,